In this video, we're going to talk about how to take business ethics to the next level. So I have made a lot of videos on YouTube about accounting and corporate finance, and out of all of these videos, my least watched videos are my videos on business ethics. And I can't figure out exactly why not a lot of people want to watch videos on ethics. But I'm going to keep making videos about ethics because it is so important in business. In this video, I'm going to talk about how to take ethics to the next level. Now, when most people talk about ethics, they focus on examples of specific decisions where you're determining right from wrong. And instead of focusing on the micro decision level, what I want to do is focus more on the macro level. So what does an ethical life look like from a 10,000-foot viewpoint? And I find this is helpful because when you bring it back to the micro decision level, it helps to put that decision in a larger perspective. The big picture idea that I want to talk about is I want to answer the question, what does it mean to live a virtuous life? This is a very practical question you can ask yourself to put things into perspective. All cultures around the world have some definition of what virtue means, but it always deals with very foundational ideas around morality. And some examples of these ideas are honesty, courage, love, justice, respect, humility, and patience. Now, these are just a few examples of the ideas that are captured in this concept of virtue. There's many others that we can talk about here, but the idea is that a virtuous life would display these qualities. Now, I'm not a philosopher, so I'm not going to go into depth and try to explain these concepts. These are big ideas. We're talking about honesty and courage and patience. But I think most people get the point here, that most of life's decisions can be placed in this larger context of morality. We're all faced with a decision where we can approach life living a virtuous life and making decisions for the betterment of society. Or we can approach life from a selfish perspective and look at decisions from a smaller perspective. Now, I just want to be clear here because I am not claiming to be perfect. I am just like all of you. So I make mistakes too. Sometimes I lose my temper. Sometimes I say things I shouldn't say. I'm an imperfect human being, just like everybody else. In fact, next week, I'm planning on putting out a video talking about the biggest mistake I have made on the job. And so, I make mistakes too. But the reason why I wanted to make this video today is that despite all of my faults, I have personally found it helpful to take a step back and think about the question, am I living a virtuous life? And this is a very practical thing that you can do as well. So think about the last 24 hours. And think about all of the interactions you have had with people. And ask yourself that question. Were these interactions examples of all of those qualities that I listed before? Did you approach these interactions with honesty and patience and compassion? Here's another one for you. If any of these interactions were where somebody has done you wrong, or somebody's lied to you, or somebody's betrayed you, ask yourself the question, have you forgiven them? because forgiveness is also part of a virtuous life. I want to bring this back to business. And let's get very real here for a second. You don't have to live a virtuous life to make money. And that's what makes this choice so difficult. And the reason why I say that is because we can all point to people who are very, very wealthy, but are also jerks. And so that shows us that, we can be in business and we can make money by being a jerk, or we can do it by living and pursuing a virtuous life. So it really comes down to the question, what kind of person do you want to be? And what kind of life do you want to lead? I wish that more business people were asking themselves these deep questions, because I find not a lot of people are talking about this. What I have found for me personally is that I've found that there's more happiness and fulfillment thinking about these foundational ideas of virtue and applying them to my business decisions. Let me leave you with one more thought. I want you to remember a time when you felt like you had a connection with somebody. So this might have been a moment where you felt heard and understood and validated, or just that somebody made you feel special. I am betting that moment for you was priceless. And I'm also betting that that was a moment when somebody was acting in a virtuous way and not in a selfish way. And so I encourage you to think about building your career on moments like that. You're building your career on a network of strong relationships. And that's why I think it's important to ask yourself the question, am I living a virtuous life? Now, I know this is a topic not a lot of people are talking about in business. In fact, there's people in business who disagree with me on this. And so I'm actually curious to find out where you land on this. What do you think about living a virtuous life, and is that important in business? Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. And if you like this video, if you found it helpful, click on the subscribe button. The best way to supercharge a business is through accounting and corporate finance, and I release a new video every week, so come back and check out next week's video.